did get knocked down by losing to NC State. I think if they would have won the ACC championship, they probably would have been a 2 seed, right? So there was a little bit of consequence there, a little bit. But Brooklyn is a pretty good landing spot for Duke, right? They'll get to pretend like they have to go on the road and earn their way, but really it's a home game.
Nice little home game, yeah.
Yeah, but if we're being honest.
Let's be real. Got a late tip, I think.
Number 13, Vermont, nothing to be super scared about. I wouldn't take them lightly, but you can at this point in time.
Vermont's been in the NCAA tournament quite a bit.
Very good
out of the
program.
American East.
Underrated program.
Yes. They've been there a lot.
But there's no more for them downplaying their loss. We've heard it for the last few weeks, right? They lost against North Carolina in the final regular season game. What did we hear? Well, that's just a regular season game. We have bigger plans. We have bigger goals, right? They were talking about the ACC and the NCAA championship. That's how they spun it, right? Are we disappointed? Yeah, but that's not really what we're playing for. Then they went to the ACC tournament, and they were one and done, right? They showed up. They played one game. They lost. They went home. That game was to a 10-seed NC State team. After the game, what did we hear? Well, as you're going to hear from Jeremy Roach in a second, the goal is more than just the ACC tournament. They downplayed the loss. Here's Roach.
We control our own destiny, and like I said, we came here for something bigger. And we're not really playing for ACC championships and stuff like that. But I mean, obviously, it's great to get an ACC championship, but we came for something bigger, and that's Phoenix. So.
Jared said he felt like, or the team in general, there was a lot of struggles that you experienced in the Carolina game that carried over to tonight. Yeah. How frustrating is that you guys probably try to work on it and it just didn't translate on the court?
It's very frustrating, but like I said, it's in our control to do what we got to do. Got to see where we end up in the tournament. And we got to just go from there. I mean, can't really dwell on this. I mean, I kind of think back to my sophomore year when we lost in the championship. Like that year, we didn't come to just win the ACC championship. We came to get to the national championship. We made a hell of a run. So I think we're kind of in that same predicament right now.
That audio gathered by our very own Dennis Cox in the postgame locker room after Duke's loss. The goal is more than just the ACC tournament. We're playing for bigger things. Well, that spin zone only travels so far. If you lose to UNC in the regular season finale, that's not what we were playing for. If you lose to NC State in the ACC tournament, that's not what you were playing for. There's no consequences here. That wasn't the goal. Downplay. If you lose in the NCAA tournament, there's no more deflecting. There's no more downplaying. Now you're playing for keeps. There's no, well, that was just a scrimmage. There's no, well, that didn't really count. There's no, well, we don't really worry about that. Both of these teams for different reasons, right? North Carolina, I believe, has been the better team. Duke has been the more underwhelming team. But both of them need to understand that from this point forward, it's the money is real. From this point forward, the stakes are real. There's no more no harm, no foul for North Carolina. You lose a game, it's not, you'll still be a 1 seed. You get upset by a team that's a double-digit seed, like you did in the ACC tournament, there's no more, well, that's fine, you'll still play close to home in Charlotte. For Duke, you lose, you can't walk up there and say, well, that loss really didn't hurt, because that's not what we were going for. Now it is what you're going for. Now the stakes are real. Now if either of you lose, it becomes catastrophic. And you know how a first weekend exit stings. There's no avoiding that. There's no consolation prizes. There's no goodie bags. And there's no participation trophies. There are some teams, and heck, we may even talk about it, some of them here today, that, making the NCAA tournament is kind of like a trophy in and of itself.
Oh, yeah.
There are teams that have not made it very often, and they might hang a banner that just says NCAA tournament participant. Duke and UNC are not one of them.
Different standard,
and they've gone here different ways. 4 seed, 1 seed, playing close to home, playing in Brooklyn. It doesn't matter what it is now. You better win. You better make it to Elite 8. Elite 8 minimum.
Sweet 16.
Minimum. Yeah, second weekend minimum. Now the chips are down, and there's no way you can spin zone this after. Sometimes we play the spin zone game.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Where
it's like spin zone.
It's like, hey, let's look at this from a different perspective. Sometimes my favorite part about sports is there is a scoreboard and there is no spin zone, right? Either at the end of the game, you look up and you see you have more points than they do, or they have more points than you do, and that dictates everything around your program. That's how it is, right? When UNC lost to NC State, you could say like, well, yeah, but we're still going to be a 1 seed. They're going to be an 11 seed. Right? When Duke loses to NC State, you could say, yeah, well, but we're a program that talks national championships, not ACC championships. You can spin zone it. No more spin zone starting on Thursday. Actually, Tuesday, tomorrow, with the first round games. No more spin zone once the NCAA tournament gets started.